Hey guys, it's Kelly with Chestnut Junction, and today we are going to add another element to this can that we did yesterday. And if you did not catch the live that we did for this can, it's actually down in the videos on my page, and it's also posted to our YouTube channel. So today we are going to add another element to this with putting a label on it. So we're going to stick this to the side. And we have a piece of muslin here. This is just a, regular piece of muslin. You could use Osnaburg or any other type of cotton fabric that you wanted. Hi, Miss Bonnie. And then we are going to trace this onto our piece of muslin. So I have my light box here, and you don't have to have a light box. My husband posted in the link there the link to this, so you guys can click that link and download this for free. But we're going to go ahead. I was going to say too, you don't have to have a light box to trace this. Once you print out this pattern, if you have a glass tabletop that you could put a light underneath your tabletop or even hold it up to a window or something like that, that's how you can transfer that. A light box is really handy. I have one because I do a lot of hand embroidery. So that's how I trace my embroideries onto my muslin. So we have this piece of muslin that's probably like the size of a, hi Tamara, how are you today, girl? It's probably about the size of a piece of paper. So I'm going to place the muslin, so that this October 31st is in the middle of my piece of muslin. And I'll go ahead. Now when I move you down, I'm probably not going to be able to see comments. But I always do go back and check the comments. So I'm going to make sure that 31 is in the middle of our muslin. And I'm going to go ahead and pin my muslin to my paper here. You also could, if you find a label that you like, I know there's a lot of cute labels on Etsy. If you find a label that you like and you're familiar with doing the inkjet printing on muslin, you can go ahead and do that. But I didn't know how many of you guys are familiar with that, so I thought it would be easier if we just trace this on and then we can go back and hand paint it. But maybe sometime we can go back and try to do a tutorial on actually printing the labels and whatnot on muslin from your inkjet printer. And it does have to be an inkjet. You can't do the printing with the laser printer, because that actually is toner and it has fuser in it. So you have to use the inkjet if you're going to be printing on the fabric. Right now I'm using a water-soluble pen. It's called Mark Be Gone. And this ink actually disappears when it gets wet. So whenever we paint this and coffee stain it, this blue ink will disappear. And of course I forgot my glasses, so I'm trying to do this the best that I can. Thank you, Katie. Like I said, I'm looking down, and if I don't catch your comments, I do go back and look at the comments. Oh, there's my wonderful husband with my glasses. Oh, I can see now. Goodness gracious, that makes a big difference. I actually need new glasses, but we couldn't. Well, these are my reading glasses, but I have to have glasses to drive, and we couldn't get into the eye doctor until November. So in November, I will be getting new glasses. Hi, Francine. How are you? So if you're just joining us, I have a piece of muslin that's about the size of a sheet of printer paper, and I have created a little, I guess you want to say, graphic that says October 31st. And you can, it should be my husband printed, or my husband linked it up in the comments. So you can hit that link, and it'll take you to be able to download this. And then we just took that piece of muslin and, you know, we traced it. So we're going to move this out of the way. And now you can see that, move my glasses. Now you can see that we have the October 31 traced on our fabric. I don't know if I need, can you guys see this okay? Let me look over here and see. Sorry, if I look at it over here on my computer, I can tell if I am lined up here. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay. So what we're going to do next is we have our black paint. And this is just a generic black paint. And then, what? Am I okay?
Yeah, make sure you're good.
Okay. Hopefully I can see, or hopefully I can paint that far away. And I've squeezed some black paint into our little bowl here. And I want to thin this paint down a little bit so that it's not real thick. It's going to spread better if we, so bottled water, it doesn't have to be bottled water, but that's just what I have here. Going to give us a little cap of water and put it in our paint to thin it down. And then we're going to mix it up. Except just that little bit of water in there is going to thin it out a little bit and make it spread easier. Like I said, I hope that I can, because naturally, can you guys still see it there? Because it's closer to me and I can see it better. So I'm just gonna go in and start painting in between these lines. And for this one, I do have a thinner brush. And don't worry about it being perfect, because it's supposed to be primitive. I'm just gonna go in here and fill in between these lines, and don't worry about these blue lines, because whenever we're done, we're gonna coffee stain this, and those blue lines will disappear. Are we still doing okay? Just adding a little bit of water is helping us to get this to spread a little better. And it's not going to be perfect. It's hand painted. And too, like I can see right now, like this line right here isn't the straightest. So I can just come in and just kind of fix it a little bit and make it look more even. Hi, Marcia. Thanks for joining us. We're glad you're here. The more the merrier. So did anybody go ahead and make up the can already? The can is really easy. The chalk paint really, does wonders with getting the paint to stick to the tin like that. I keep looking up because I'm worried I'm going to turn this and you guys aren't going to be able to see it. Are you painting on right or wrong side? Everything is reading backwards as I am looking at it. I'm actually painting on the right side. I could flip the camera around, but then everything looks backwards to me. And then I get all, I just get all whopper-jawed with it, and it's just hard. But yes, I am painting on the right side of the fabric. You know, the part that is going to be sticking out. You know what I mean? On the finished surface. I'm not painting on the back. Oh, hubby is manning the chat. How wonderful. He helps out a lot. I love him. I'm very blessed. I didn't even think you could probably do this, you know, in another color. Or do the October in one color and the 31 in another color. I just figured because the can is black and it's like Halloween-y that I would just paint this black. And it's going fairly fast. I'm sure whenever you're doing this at home, you know, you could take your time and do this. And what I'm going to do right now is hit this with the heat tool a little bit. I can see a place I missed. Hey, Miss Nancy, how are you? Hi, Cynthia. What's everybody up to this evening? The Pumpkin Festival, which is a yearly event here in our town, it starts this week. So everybody decorates their house for fall very early because of the Pumpkin Festival. So we got our mums and our corn. You call them corn shocks or corn stalks. I always wound up calling them corn shocks. We got those up over the weekend. But I still need some leaves to go over our like the leaf garland to go over our windows. And I think I'll be done. Hey, Casey, so glad you're here. This 31 it's going better because it's a bigger area. I probably could have gone with a smaller brush on that October. Ooh, this is going through a little bit. We don't want it to bleed through and give us spots. I'm glad you're doing well, Nancy. We're doing good here too. I had to take my mom to the doctor today, so that can be challenging. Thanks, Miss Gay. I'm trying not to because this paint is bleeding through a little bit. See? And I'm hoping it doesn't come up and give us spots on the muslin. Does anybody think this is something that they'll try to do? Oh, putting paints on your Frankenstein. Did you say you're having a fall festival? I keep saying I need to make myself another one of those Frankensteins. Every single one I've made, I've always sold. I very rarely make any or keep anything that I make. The can I actually got at Save-A-Lot. I don't know if Save-A-Lots are all over the country or not, but it's like more of a it's like, what do I want to say? It's a cheaper store. They still carry some name brand products. Maybe like, and it would be cheaper than Aldi's, but that's where I got my can. It was a green bean can. And I bought it specifically for this project, so we still have the green beans in a bag in the fridge. So we'll be eating green beans for a while. You're having a festival in your town, really? That's cool. Town festivals are so much fun. Like I rode downtown today to go to the post office to ship out orders, and they are already setting up like the concession stands and the benches and all that stuff. And it's the pumpkin festival, so they make this, they've got like this huge stand. I mean, like, goodness, it's got to be 20 feet high. But it's got all these, it's like a tree, and every round is like a shelf, and it just keeps on going up, and it's got pumpkins on every shelf, so it looks like a huge pumpkin tree. And then like they have county fair things in the sense of like they have contests and whatnot. Like they do a king pumpkin, and these pumpkins like weigh over 1,000 pounds. And then usually after the pumpkin festival is over, the local businesses will like they auction off the pumpkin, and then like local businesses display the pumpkin at their business for like, I think it's a week. Each business will get to display the king pumpkin. And then I think, I could be mistaken, that eventually they break open the pumpkin and they disperse the seeds from the pumpkin because, you know, it won the king pumpkin, so people are going to want the seeds from that to try to grow their own king pumpkin. But like they literally have like cranes that they use to move these pumpkins around because they're just huge. But they sell things like pumpkin fudge and pumpkin donuts, pumpkin pie, and then they take the gym, it's the elementary school gym, and they call it the pumpkin patch, and it's all handmade crafts. Like crafters set up their craft booths in there, but that's like the happening spot for the crafts. But they do have other craft venues you can set up, like, you know, throughout the rest of the downtown. But the big, you know, place you want to hit is the pumpkin patch. Oops, almost put that in there. Oh, and then there's pumpkin parade. Forgot about the pumpkin parade. It's funny that the pumpkin parade in this town is probably like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. But come Christmas time and it's the Christmas parade, I don't even know if the Christmas parade is 10 or 15 minutes long. It's like there's not a whole lot of interest in the Christmas parade. And when we lived in Columbus, we would ask the local people there, like, why don't you guys have a Christmas parade? And they'd look at us like we were, you know, off our rockers. Christmas parade, you know, like that's the Macy's parade you watch on TV. And we're like, no, you know, small town, well, because it wasn't a small town. But, you know, when you live in Columbus, it's all those suburbs, you know, we were just shocked that they didn't, none of those places had parades. And then, like, downtown Columbus didn't have a parade. I guess that's just small town America, right? Hey, Miss Donna, how are you? How are things in Knots Landing, Miss Donna? Okay. Looks like we got that pretty well covered. So I'm going to stick that off to the side. So there we go. It's all painted in. I'm going to hit it with our little heat tool. Thank you, Miss Donna. That's probably the only thing I passed in kindergarten was staying in the lines. Well, that and lunch and recess. Actually, when I went to kindergarten, we only went half a day, so we didn't even have lunch. But I know now they have preschool at the public schools now. When I was a kid, most kids didn't go to preschool. Eagle Fork Pumpkins and Gifts. Where's that at? Just want to make sure we get this dry so we can sand it. And that is something I forgot was my sandpaper. Hubby, if you're still watching, my sandpaper is in the paint tote, I think in the bottom drawer. My sandpaper. Oh, no, it's not. Hey, this man is organized. He makes me look like a superstar. Can you see this ear that keeps poking in right here? Brody, looky. I said, looky. He said, I want to be a superstar. Yeah, look at me. This is he's not so much a kitten anymore. This is Brody. Say hellos. Ooh, you say hello to everybody. Yes. Say, I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby. You gonna be in the video too? Are ya? Okay. So we've got this painted on here, and I've got my sandpaper. Can I move your butt? Can I move your butt a little bit? So we are going to sand this. You guys still see me okay? Hey, what is this? That's not part of the craft. Brody, people saying hi to you. Say hi, Barb. Yeah, say hi, Barb. You're going to get a little bit of dust whenever you sand this. So I just wipe it off. You can kind of go and sand around it too, just so it like evens up the fabric, if that makes sense to you. So it just doesn't look like when we coffee stain it, it doesn't just look like, you know, we've got these worn places here. If we sand all around it, it makes it look like the fabric is all evened out. Brody, how are people supposed to see what I'm doing? Huh? How are people supposed to see? All right. So now we're going to coffee stain. So I've got my big tub of coffee stain. And for this, I make my coffee in large batches. And I think I have 1 tablespoon of instant coffee per cup in here. And if you don't like it that dark, then don't add as much coffee or add more water. And if you like it darker, add more coffee. If you want to put cinnamon in there, that would be good. Or you can put vanilla in there. And I'm going to go ahead and stain. Should I go ahead and stain this entire piece, or should I cut it down first? And I'm thinking that because of the edges. Because it's going to shrink a little bit. Have our can here. whenever, I will say, before now he's trying to get in the can. When we're moving on to this next step, I'm not going to technically really measure this out. We're going to eye this up. And I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to cut this fabric. I'm going to tear it so that the edges look worn, you know, and ragged. So, Brody, really? Gonna get my scissors here. Gonna go ahead and make a cut on this side. Then I'm gonna tear it. See how we have that torn edge there? And then I'm just gonna eye it up on the other side because we could always take more off if we need to. Tear that. I think well, I don't know. Thinking that looks pretty good. So come back to our can and see where we're at from top to bottom here. Make a little cut and then tear it. Hold it back up to our can again. I think I'm going to take just a tiny bit more off this top. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. It doesn't want to tear it. I'm going to have to try to even it out on this side, you know. There we go. And we'll just trim that up right there. And then we'll just go and do that on the bottom. And tear that off. So now we have our little label. I think I should take a little bit more off of each side. Or do ya? This is what it's going to look like. I don't know. I think I might take just a hair off of each side. Better. So then it'll be on our can like that. Okay, so now let's move on to the coffee stain. So, gotta find, there it is. Coffee stain, large batch. You can make it in a very small. For this, you could actually do like probably I would say a quarter to a third of a cup of water and add like maybe a teaspoon of instant coffee into your water, because this label here is not going to take very much. And I'm actually going to put my label into my pan here because I'm going to use my heat tool on it, and I don't want to burn my paper there or my counter. I have a more powerful heat tool that's like, I think it's either 12 or 1500 watts. This thing is 350, but that 12 or 1500 watt heat gun, heat tool, not supposed to say the GUN word, it actually will kind of darken the fabric because it's so hot, and I'm kind of hoping that this will too. I think it's looking good so far. Maybe let's turn it over and go back. This is my my coffee standing pan. Can you tell? Like whenever I bake doll dresses or, you know, doll bodies, this is the pan I use. Oh yeah, that's looking good. I think this heat tool is actually giving some color. Nice, because that is what I was hoping it would do. If you're interested in this heat tool, I can actually put the link up on my page later for it. See how the heat tool is giving us some color? I think I'm gonna add a little bit more coffee. Ooh, that pan is hot. Let's give this another coat of coffee, and that'll actually make it stiffer. And hopefully whenever we put it on the can, you won't be able to see the ridges of the can under this label too badly. Oh yeah, I'll post the link for this later. Oopsie. Okay. I shopped around for quite a few. Actually looked at quite a few heat tools, but this one actually had the best reviews. And I like it too because it's quiet. There's so, I mean, think of the possibilities, like, because I created this on, what is it? Paint shop, print shop, something like that. But there's just so many things you could do with this technique. This second coat really made a difference. So I didn't see, has anybody done the can yet? You probably answered me and I didn't see it. You don't even have to do a can that big. You could like do a soup can and shrink this down. Or even if you did a soup can, you know, like that size, you could still do muslin and then maybe just stamp, like a Halloween stamp on a small piece of muslin to put on your can. Yeah, this looks nice and old. If you do get this heat gun, you guys said it again, heat tool, heat tool. If you do get the heat tool, just be careful because it does get very hot. Isn't that cute? I love the way it turned out. Ooh, hot pan. All right, that is wet. Let me clean myself up here just a tad. You guys like this? Okay, so I'm going to just give these letters a little bit. Oh, see, this is wet. I'm gonna pull this up. You can still see that, right? I'm just gonna sand these painted areas just a little. Let's see some hearts if you guys are going to try this yourselves. Hey, somebody's going to try it. I saw one heart. I'm going light here. This is not going heavy-handed with this sanding. Okay, and I'm just going to wipe away some of that dust. I'm going to go here, and I don't want to trim all these threads off because those threads make it look primitive. But some of these loose ones we don't want. So we have our label painted and stained, and it's ready for our can. So this is the can that we did in the previous live. Trying to, boy, I did so good painting this, I can't even find the back. There's the back. Okay. We want that, you know, there's still some glue underneath there a little bit. We're going to want to go and attach this to here. So this was my question too. And you can tell me what you think. I had questioned whether or not to set this low so we could put a tie up here, or to make it in the middle. I'm kind of going with making it lower so we can put a tie up around the top. You think so? I think so. I don't know, buddy. I don't see anybody ants lower. Okay, yep. That's what I think. So I've got my label. There's another long piece there. And I'm going to put it face down on my paper here. And then I've got some Mod Podge. And if you don't have Mod Podge and you just have regular glue, you can squirt the glue on the back of there. And I've got a brush. I'm going to put that on here. Just a nice thin layer on the entire piece. And then I'm actually going to come here and stick a little bit of Mod Podge on my can as well. And it's not going to be exact. Just make sure we get our corners and whatnot. Okay. So just lay your label on here, and we're just going to press this on here and hope it sticks. Because I'm touching it and it's wanting to come up with my fingers. Oh, girls, let's hope and pray this sticks. Like I said, I'm touching it and it's wanting to come up with my fingers. So I'm just going through these ridges and pressing it down. Alrighty. So there we have it. Looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? Oh, these corners. You know what? If when this dries and the corner isn't down, I'm going to add a little bit of white glue under the corner. But this was step 2 in making our Halloween can. And next time, because I want to make some pokes, you know, to stick down in here. But we're going to need probably some styrofoam in the bottom of this. So I need to get some styrofoam. So we need to get our can set up. But the next time, we'll probably talk about the styrofoam. Maybe I'll have the styrofoam and put some in it. But we're going to make, hopefully, I'll put you back up here now. Ooh, hi. I want to make 3 pokes to put in here. I don't know what I did. There we go. But I want to put 3 pokes, and then we'll do the same thing. I'll give you the pattern, and you can download it, and we'll go through how you make it here and put it together. And wouldn't it, Cindy? That would be cute on a pillow. Oh, you are so welcome, Miss Donna. My next live, I want to try to go live every day. I want to try to. I've been, if you haven't been reading my page, my mother has terminal cancer, and I have a sister who has special needs. And like today, I had to take my mom to the doctor, and she's got another doctor's appointment tomorrow, and is just running around in errands and stuff. Plus, you know, keeping up with my orders from Etsy. But I want to try to go live every day with doing this. Oh, somebody else asked me what a poke was. A poke, I like to think of a poke as like a pick. We're going to use sticks, and then like make something fabric on the top. I'm shooting for hopefully doing a witch, a cat, and either a ghost or a pumpkin. And like, you know, we'll poke the 3 of those in here, and then like we'll try to fill some of this in like with maybe some dried, something, you know, primitive looking. And I even thought about, like, I know the dollar store has those little battery operated lights. I think it would be cute even to put a little string of lights in there. But if you're just catching us today, like this is first time you're watching us, there's a previous live where we did this can. And then for today with the label, we posted the link where you can download the template for free. And I'll do that again whenever we do the pokes. I'm enjoying coming on here and crafting with you guys and hanging out. And you know, if you guys like this and want to you know, hang around and continue to do this, I think it'd be fun. So thanks for joining us today. I hope you try this out. Oh, thank you, Miss Nikki. That's my aim though, is you know, sometimes I'm just not gonna lie, you know, with running a business, I get heated emails on a daily basis. And a lot of it is simply because of the Etsy system, because Etsy's app doesn't allow you to download your digital downloads on the app. You have to be out of the Etsy app. And so I get a lot of heated emails on a daily basis yelling at me that I didn't deliver through on my patterns. But I also get emails asking me, when are you going to go live again? We always loved your lives. And then I get emails from people, one lady in particular, who told me that she lives alone, and that watching our lives made her feel like she was part of something. And that's just kind of why I want to start doing this again. If I like sharing my craft, I do, I like to share my craft, but it just makes me feel good to get on here and hang out. If somebody needs somebody to hang out with, or it brightens your day a little bit, that's what I want to do. Because there are people out there that are alone and just need to pick me up. And, you know, if we can do that, or they can get on here and chat with other people, I just think that it's good therapy. It's good therapy for me. It's good therapy for other people. So that's my aim in this. Okay, looks like hubby's keeping up with the messages. Okay, so until our next live, like I said, I heard, did you guys, I could have swore I thought somebody, I saw several go by that, oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Barb. No, Carrie, you don't. You never know what people are going through. That it's, you just, that's all I know what my mom's going through. You know, my mom's got cancer, and it's an isolating situation. And two, you know, whenever she was in the hospital and in the rehabilitation center, she had visitors every single day. I mean, honestly, there was probably 2 to 3 visitors she had every single day. But now that she's been home, nobody visits her anymore. So that's even like a thing with us. You know, if people are in that situation, they feel isolated, they feel alone. If we can get on here for a little bit and make you feel like you're not alone and you have some company and somebody cares about you, that's what I want to do. Because that's just how I feel. Okay, guys. Oh, thank you, Miss Carrie. I appreciate it. Thank you, Cindy. So until our next live, you guys get your cans and make your labels, and then we will work on a poke. But I did think that I saw pumpkin go through several times. And whenever, definitely, Casey, that's it. It's a situation. Not easy. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Donna. You know I feel the same about you. Thank you, Lucy. If I do a pumpkin, though, do you guys want to see a plain pumpkin, or do you want to see a pumpkin with a face? How about you hit the star button, or hit the heart button if you want a face. Hit the like button if you want no face. So hearts are for face on the pumpkin. Like is for no face on the pumpkin. I'm seeing face. The faces have it so far. Lots of faces. Okay. So I will work on that. We will do a little pumpkin with a face. So, and I gotta find, well, no, I was gonna say I have to find sticks, but I think I have sticks in the garage. Okay. Alrighty, you guys. Thanks so much for joining us. You enjoy the rest of your evening. I enjoy spending this time with you. God bless. Bye-bye.